Loki Goat. I was watching one of your older Q&A videos, number 15 I think it was, and noticed that when I watched a more recent one, your presentation had improved noticeably. Your cadence carried a more natural, relaxed tone to it, while still retaining the informative answers, and phrases like, "Thank you for the good question," were more common. It's more as if you were talking to an acquaintance as opposed to just someone asking something. In a word, happier. I wanted to ask if you've noticed this yourself, if you think this is a result of one or two things. Would you say it has more to do with just becoming more comfortable with creating video content as a whole and getting into an established pattern where you can grow and thrive? Or would you say it has to do with your distancing from Scientology and not having to focus on being uptone or what have you, essentially being able to break away from being a prim and proper Sea Org member as more distance is put between you and it? Thanks, Loki. Great question. I gave this a little bit of thought because I have, of course, noticed changes and commented on them over the years as I've been out of Scientology. And, you know, often I look back at how I used to think or act or what I used to say and do and what I thought was important in life, and I see the changes. And I wonder, you know, are those changes as a result of just getting more exposure to the big wide world, meeting folks like you guys, interacting through the comments and the in-person interactions and social media? Is it recovery from the, you know, a destructive cult situation I was involved in for decades? You know, is it a result of more education and learning all the things I've been learning and taking all this time to read all these books and pontificate on this stuff to you guys and you know what you know, it's a combination obviously of all of these things is where this is kind of leading, I think, and I think that I have shed a great deal of the Scientology, what they call beingness, you know, this sort of like the mask that you put on, the you know, I'm a Scientologist now, and you know, this sort of like always straightening my spine and, you know, I'm so big and tall and proud because I'm a Scientologist, and so this is how I'm supposed to be. I think I've lost a lot of that, you know, and that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Sometimes, you know, I'll have my lazy days, or I'll have, you know, times when I'm still kind of when I'm kind of slacking off a little bit here and there, and those, you know, and that old work ethic kicks in. You know, I'm still a very hard worker. I mean, so for me, slacking off is probably, when I say that, you probably get a very different idea than I get. You know, I'm thinking about, you know, being a couch potato for an hour, not going to the beach and surfing all day or something. That's not, to me, that would be completely unrealistic. I'm not ever going to do that. But, you know, but I will take some time in the middle of the day and just give myself a break every now and again. And that's a good thing. And I've learned to not be so frantic about that kind of thing or down on myself about it. So there's still a lot of stuff that I am down on myself about, or that I have attention on, or I want to do something about. I still have tons of attention on the big wide world and trying to make it a better place any way I can. I'm often frustrated at my lack of reach to people. You know, I want to reach more people, and I'm doing everything I can to make that happen. So those are the things that kind of worry me somewhat. But in terms of making videos and talking on a channel here, I have definitely gotten way more comfortable with this whole thing, and setting up my studio space here has been really kind of helpful in that regard. But this is, of course, goes earlier than that. There is a routine I am in now with my channel. I have a schedule, and that schedule, putting that schedule in place was a life-changing event for me, because I have to meet those targets. I have to meet those marks, right? On Thursday, I got to post a video. On Saturday, I got to post a podcast. And on Sunday, I have to do these critical Q&A videos. So my life revolves around that schedule for the most part. And I time things and work out research schedules and stuff. And other things in my life around all of this. This is the top priority in my life. Well, it's the second most top priority in my life. My top priority in my life is my relationship with my wife and me. You know, getting myself educated and informed and living you know, a good, happy life. That's my top priority. And if anything, actually, now that I sit here having said that out loud, that would probably be reflective of the biggest change of attitude or priority that I have had over the last 5 years, is where I went from my work being the single most important thing in my life, and everything revolved around that work. My personal life was second to it. My marriage at the time was secondary to my work. My personal life, seeing my family, of course, my interactions with my son, all of that took a backseat to work. And now my work is really important to me, and I put a lot of work into my work, but it's not the most important thing in my life. And so I think I've been able to relax more and take it a little easier and be a little less serious about all of it. And I think that's probably what you see reflected in the change over the years of my videos. So thanks for asking about that and allowing me to talk about this, because it's always helpful for me to kind of look at things and review what sort of positive things have happened over the last few years. Because like everybody else, I think I tend to focus more on negatives than positives, and it's helpful to be reminded of the positives.